Okay, so it is very warm, so I'm gonna make this quick. First interview with BK at his shop, Barbero from Brazil. So let's go meet the man. Come on. Good to see you, man.
See you too.
And we have the interview chairs set up, ready to go. Okay, BK, we are here at your shop, Barbero from Brazil. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a part of my YouTube which is all about interviewing expats. Okay?
Yeah.
So how does it feel being #1 on the list of people I wanted to speak to?
I'm so glad and honored about that.
Yeah, you should be.
Because for us as an expat, we actually meet a lot of expats independent of the country and job and everything. So me being the first, it's amazing. Thanks for the market.
Of course. Barbero, I mean, if you like my haircuts on the videos, then this guy's responsible. First question I always get asked, usually, why Saudi? Why are you here? You're from Brazil.
Yeah.
Quite far in distance away.
Yeah.
So what happened?
Well, at the first, back in 2018, two Saudi guys, they just texted me on Instagram and, yo, we have a job opportunity in Saudi Arabia. We have this project for a new barbershop, and you interested in joining us? And of course the answer was no. Saudi Arabia, what am I going to do there? And they was consistent and asking every 3 days, and then just gave me an offer like, yo, you know what, just come over Saudi if you want, just go have a look. If you like it, then we close the deal. Then I came on the first back in 2018 just to see what's up with the country, and was totally different than we used to see and search on Google and news that we ever see. Then by then I closed the deal with them. Then back in 2019, something around 6 months later, I moved to Saudi, where we first made the first project. And I didn't choose Saudi. Saudi chose me, you know what I mean? I think that's
They're persistent.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying like they would send videos on Instagram being like, bro, this is actually Saudi.
Yes.
It's not kind of desert huts and everything else that people think it is.
Yeah, it's because who knows what is Saudi, to be honest. And nowadays you can see actually on social media and everything. I think it's still on the media. There's a lot of old news that people used to look for and keeps coming up for people. So they always gonna think Saudi Arabia is the desert, the camels, the oil, and all these things, which is not. Yeah.
No, it is a contrast, a vast contrast to what's in the media. One of the things that I think there's a perception whereby it's super strict here. Yeah. And I think from looking at you, tattoos from Brazil, there's a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah.
Like people wouldn't think that you, would be allowed to go out like this. Yeah. And I think one of the things here, what you're doing with the shop, is we spoke about it the other day, how you are like pushing the cultural sort of boundary, really. I mean, what was it? I was in here the other day with you, and there's a guy getting his hair bleached. Like, talk to me about how, I guess, first of all, that feels being literally a pioneer in pushing those boundaries.
Yeah. Regards to tattoos, as soon as I came, that was a huge point where I was worrying about, especially in the airport, because as soon as I stepped in the airport, they start playing the prayer song, you know, and I was like, damn, that's to me, you know. Actually, the tattoo, what I realized is because it's more culture than religion itself. So even though that's one thing I like in Saudi, even though if you're not Muslim and I don't look like a Muslim, they still respect and actually they like. You don't see a lot of people full of tattoos. They kind of like it, and they always stop us on coffee shops or restaurants. Yo, I like your tattoos or something like that. The wave of change in Saudi Arabia is picking up right now. I guess I have a good part on this wave, surfing on this wave, where I brought kind of a different style, or I don't think it's different, but maybe it's already right there, but people were looking for change their styles, change their haircuts, and showing difference, which is the main point here, which is people, they have more of the same, you know what I mean? Yeah. So as soon as they found out, oh, these guys do something different than I used to do in US, or I used to do back in UK, and they can have it here, it's easier to spread this new wave of styles and change the culture of because even the haircuts had something with the religion. But if there is something, the religion say you can do this, but you can't do that.
Because you were saying like you can't, before you couldn't get a fade, it had to be the same length the whole way down, right?
Yeah, but at the same
Whereas
time...
now you're like, Saudis are coming, you're fading them everywhere, 10 a day.
Yeah, but at the same time they wanted a fade, let's say they wanted to change back in, I'm not saying too long, I'm saying like 2016, 2015, they wanted a fade, but nobody could have it, like nobody could do it for them.
Because there's that like the internal change and people are wanting change, but they don't necessarily know how in a way. So bringing yourself, bringing these people in who live that, then that's, you know, that's what they can add to, you know, their small bit, the small bit they can add to the culture.
Exactly. I guess that's how changes start. If people starting showing themselves I want to change, I guess the society itself gonna start like looking at that change as not too crazy as they used to think. Yeah.
I'm gonna read a comment someone left or someone asked me.
Okay.
I mean, the answer's obvious, but I'm just wondering as to the rules around shorts. Are these acceptable in public places? Do you know, please? So I mean, obviously we are in shorts.
To be honest, I had just one bad episode with shorts where me and Natalia, my wife and a friend, we were at Al-Balad, which is the historical center. And I guess because it's the historical center and it's kind of, I don't know, holy, I don't know. We walking around and this police guy just stopped us, but the fact that he stopped us, I don't think it was because of the shorts. It was more because of me and my friend with tattoos and stuff, walking with that girl with the abaya, which is the traditional clothes. Maybe he thought she was local and two foreigner guys, you know, with the girl. So he stopped us to ask, oh, what about, you know, what this girl with you? And then I explained that this is my wife and stuff. Because we close to him, and I think he was like, okay, I won't, because he was kind of ashamed, you know, maybe like, oh, this is his wife. But no, you cannot use shorts.
Oh, I see. So he came up with like another excuse.
Exactly.
Because I mean, that was commonplace before, where like a couple could be stopped in the street and ask for their marriage certificate. Like, have you, and I'm talking to your wife who's off camera here, have you ever had that issue, or was literally this the only time that someone stopped you and questioned you?
Well, they asked, I guess, only once where we got pulled over on the street by the cop. And it was something very smooth. Then he just stopped, asked, who is this? My wife, showed passport, okay, go ahead.
So that is rare, so it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
So another question is, obviously you're pushing the boundaries in terms of hairstyles, look, you know, what you're putting out on social media, what this place sort of stands for in a way. Do you feel ever that people are happy with how things are and they don't necessarily want change? Have you ever had an experience of that?
What I believe is because still Saudi Arabia is changing and fast. Most of the people that I met, they kind of like their country and they love
it, don't they? They're super patriotic.
And they love the country, the culture, and the way it is. I just feel like some people with old mentality, of course I'm talking about the old people, it's new to them, not they don't like it. Maybe they just don't understand it as we do, you know? That's the only way I see it.
But I think young people always tend to want change, and they, whether it's through social media, whatever it is, they see what's happening abroad, and they want to make that their own. And it's sort of mixing maybe the Western with Saudi culture, which is the exciting bit.
And Saudi Arabia is 70% young, 70% is young, so either they accept it or they go crazy with it. They have no choice. You know?
What would you say is your single best experience here?
Wow. In terms of?
Like, holy shit, I'm in Saudi Arabia and this is epic. Or like, you know, I can't believe I've come this far. Like, or obviously with your beautiful wife, sharing some moments.
The moment I think I was like shocked to me that I really realized I was in Saudi Arabia, because being in other countries, of course, when you look at the logos in Arabic, and and you see people wearing the traditional clothes and stuff, daily you get used to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You get used to it. But the day I already felt like, wow, this is Saudi Arabia in terms of power and the monarchy and stuff like that, was once when the Saudi prince flew me from Jeddah to Riyadh to get his haircut. He's the king's nephew, something like that. And then I was like, damn, I never seen this before, you know what I mean? When at that episode was something like that, I felt like, wow, this is Saudi. And in terms of, there is prince, there is a king, there is, you know what I mean? Because back in UK, you don't really talk with a prince or you know what I mean?
So this is my bragging right, is that my barber who cuts royal hair. I pay less, but I'd like to think he gets better conversation.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, what has the sort of worst experience been that you have had?
Well, I think I never experienced something bad in terms of with people, just weather-wise. A few weeks ago, we went to the beach. I was feeling like 50 degrees.
Yes.
I think that was the worst part. Never a hard episode with somebody or.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always cool.
I experienced that when you put the plastic on me in here.
Yeah.
And then I'm dripping. In terms of the future here, what does it hold? Obviously, you've got your shop.
Yeah.
It's been what, like 8 months, 10 months or something?
Going to 9 months now.
So what does the future hold for you and your wife here?
As a Brazilian, I think there is a good opportunity here. And Brazil and Saudi Arabia has a lot in common. So I don't really feel of course, I miss family and friends, but in terms of country, I don't miss much of Brazil because I wasn't a party guy. A lot of people are going to say, yo, now you don't miss Brazil. Yes. We see our future here in at least 10 years.
10 years?
Yeah, for sure.
Easy. You hear that, Ted? We came at the same time, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And what would you say to someone who is exploring opportunities in Saudi Arabia and is on the fence? Like they think they see what's portrayed in the media and they think it's really restrictive, no shorts, no tattoos. Like, what do you say to someone like that?
Just don't be afraid. The most important is you being confident because the comfort of being here will come with the time. Of course, whoever comes to Saudi in the first 2 weeks, he'll feel weird because it is different than anywhere. It's not like Dubai. People think it's like Dubai. It's not. It's not like Dubai, but at the same time, it's kind of better because here you have the culture. In Dubai, you don't have that much.
Yes.
So in Saudi Arabia, you have to come over to see. It's kind of bad, kind of you gambling, but not really because it's so safe at a point that you feel safe. For me, I used to say Saudi Arabia is like a huge compound because of safety, because of the people itself. Of course, there is bad people, but not bad people in terms of violence or crime, something.
I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced any crime.
Me too. It's just about like what we experience is more like the shock of culture, where still there's people here they don't speak English. Once you talk to them, they don't know how to reply. And Saudi Arabia is a city, and especially Jeddah. I've been to Riyadh as well, but for me, Jeddah is way better than Riyadh because of the beach. I used to say Riyadh is New York and Jeddah is LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Over here, you're gonna find a lot. So I don't think people should be worried to come here.
So the opportunity here is huge. The potential for people to come in, experience something new, earn a nice bit of money, and also establish a life is like nowhere else really in the world, in that it's sort of untouched, untapped, and just the potential. So what I tend to say to people is, if you have an opportunity, just do it, just go for it, even if it's just a year contract, just go for it, see what happens.
I don't think there is a country more powerful than Saudi in terms of money.
Yeah.
And potential.
Well, we won't talk how much you charge for a single haircut.
If it's a prince. In terms of opportunity in Saudi, I don't see any other country offering, especially to foreigners right now, such a space to work. As soon as we are talking about changes in Saudi, to change, they not necessarily they need to bring people from abroad to do something, but they need people from abroad to teach them how to do something.
Yes.
I'm not saying they don't know how. They know how. But of course, the experience is in abroad, I would say, larger in terms of space and let's say if you wanna bring a roller coaster to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you go for people who own a theme park.
You go to Disney, exactly. So there is many things and many categories of jobs that we don't know about. And I just met a guy, a Brazilian guy as well, where he's here to maintain yachts and never knew that. And also I have many Brazilian friends here, which is football players. Saudi is a good polo for football.
Yeah.
And UK too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so not only royalty, you do footballers.
No.
You cut the hair of royalty, footballers.
No, but not this side. Like, I mean.
And there's Pete.
And there's me, God. I try and tip him well.
More in terms of like, you're gonna find everything here.
Yeah, it's big time.
Doesn't matter if you are a lawyer or if you are, I don't know, a footballer. You know what I mean? So I guess as the Saudi government says as well, Saudi is the next hero in terms of how they want to grow it. You know what I mean? And the potential and the money and everything.
Well, you see it, like there's so much being invested in these locations around, in the cities and everything.
Well, I had a conversation with a friend of mine once, and he told me his neighbor used to go around the world a lot for business. My friend, he was telling me that the only time he saw a government investing this much in a country was back in China, in Shanghai.
Okay.
And back in 2006. And look at China right now. So this meant Saudi Arabia, you know what I mean?
You're kind of on the ground floor, and the potential is there. So what I want to do is, I'm going to, the next person I have an interview with, I'm going to get you to ask a question. So you tell me a question and I will ask that person, if that makes sense. Okay. It can be anything you like.
Anything? Because foreigners in general attract attention in Saudi. So what I'm going to ask, because myself, sometimes, especially because I got tattoos, sometimes when I'm outside, I feel like people think I'm kind of famous or celebrity because
you are famous.
No.
Yes, you are.
But just because we don't look like them, you know, we're not Arab.
Yeah.
But sometimes because I have this Arab look and I have tattoos, they think like, oh, this guy
must be famous.
Exactly.
Do you get people asking you for pictures?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah. I want to ask, how does he feel walking on the street?
Nice. Okay. Decent question. Do you think I put you on the spot for that?
Yeah. In my case, it's because they think I'm a football player.
Yeah.
Because of the tattoos.
Yeah. BK, thank you so much. I'll remember your question. I'll share it with the next person. And well, who knows? We'll do this again when you have 3 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots. Amazing. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
So a massive thank you to BK. As you can see, literally walk from the shop and the Jeddah heat humidity is savage. Also thank you to the camerawoman who did
press the button and that was it.
Pointed, pressed the button, did a sweat check, wipe the forehead. But no, so what I wanted to say is hopefully you found that useful, just someone else's insight other than me going on at you for half an hour. If you want to ask any questions in relation to anything, please do let us know and we can make sure we cover that whenever we ask our next guest. So thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, DM us, and we shall see you in the next episode. What should they do?
Like, share, and subscribe.
Yes!